With President Trump's big, beautiful bill now law, GOP lawmakers are ready to sell their constituents on how it will benefit them. For more, let's bring in Georgia Republican Congressman Buddy Carter. Congressman, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So this massive piece of legislation deals with a whole lot of aspects of our economy, from taxes to energy to the border. What are you most proud of?
Well, let's face it. No one thought this could happen. No one thought that this president could get this done, especially by July 4th. But Donald J. Trump did it through his efforts, through his work. Americans are going to be safer. They're going to be more prosperous. And that is important, particularly for the state of Georgia. You know, if this had not passed, Georgians would have been looking at, 88% of Georgians would have been looking at a tax increase of almost $1,500, which equates to about 7 weeks worth of groceries. We could ill afford that in our economy. Thanks to the work of Donald J. Trump, we are going to see a more prosperous nation. People are going to save. They're going to save on taxes. And this is going to, not only that, but also it's going to secure our border. It's going to give us energy and dominance. It's going to make sure that there's no tax on tips, no tax on overtime. All those promises that Donald Trump made. Promises made, promises kept.
Democrats are attacking, for example, Medicaid. For folks who are legitimately on Medicaid, can you assure them that they will retain their coverage?
Look, I was chair of the Health Subcommittee of Energy and Commerce that crafted this part of the legislation. So I can attest to you that, yes, we made Medicaid better. We saved it. We stabilized it. Same thing with SNAP. We got rid of waste, fraud, and abuse. We made these programs better for the people who need it the most vulnerable in our society.
There's also a number of rural communities in the great state of Georgia. That's another line of attack. Are you confident that rural health care will stay strong?
I am confident it'll stay strong, and I applaud the Senate for the $50 billion they put in there for rural hospitals. I think that's a good move. I think it'll help. And certainly, again, once we get rid of waste, fraud, and abuse, once we get rid of illegals who are on Medicaid, once we get rid of ineligibles who are on Medicaid, once we get work requirements for those who are able-bodied, then Medicaid will be much better. It'll be a better program for those who truly need it.
We've been watching this terrible flooding in Kerrville, Texas, involving children at the Christian camp. I know it's personal for you and your family. Would you tell us about that?
It is. I had 2 granddaughters who were there, and they had 4 cousins. Thank God my granddaughters are okay. One of their cousins, Janie Hunt, is in heaven now, and God has wrapped his arms around her. And our thoughts and prayers are with all of those involved.
What do you want to say to the good folks of Texas in terms of Congress standing by them during this time of need?
We're going to be there. We're going to be there. And I would be remiss if I did not mention the outstanding work that all the first responders have done, and particularly Scott, who was the helicopter pilot who brought my granddaughters back to us.
Congressman Buddy Carter, very touching. Thank you for sharing that with us. It's great to see you, sir.
Thank you.